everyone, good morning, and this is Jaslin with you. Simply Nature, healthy, sexy every Thursday at 8 a.m. Sorry I'm running late today, I'm so sorry. But 大家早上好，大家早安。I've been on the topic of health, and this is Jaslin with you every Thursday, sharing with you about health tips and things to avoid, and one of the things that you should be doing. I wonder how many of you have been practicing or doing what I've been sharing for the first quarter of 2019. Alright, and welcome back everyone. Mabuhay, and let me get this up and running on my own page before I go on talking. Alright, okay. Alright, just a second. Okay, there you go. Last week I was sharing on, okay, as I said, as the start of the year, let me repeat the 5 basic needs of human needs in terms of health. We need the air, we need the water, we need the food, we need clothing, and therefore we also need shelter. These are the 5 that's going to affect us on our health day in, day out. And so my topic will be evolving on this 5 basic human needs of everyone right there in this world, and this 5 concern the well-being of every mankind, and we are in every right and effort to make sure that we take responsibility of the 5 that I just mentioned and do our best to ensure that this big 5 are fully achievable and sustainable in our lifetime. Alright, and my friend was saying, plug in, Simply Nature. So on my following episode, I talk about air. I think I spent almost 3 topics on air, 4 episodes on water, and I'm still on episode on food. And what I shared last week, was really on the food that kills or food that heals. Are you taking daily food that heals or food that kills? Alright, hi, morning all my friends in Sorry Schumann. Hi ladies, good morning, welcome back. And this week I will be sharing about one thing that has been very phenomenal in our food consumption, food source, and habit. One thing, but before that, why I mentioned whether food kills or food heals. I mean, what's the point of eating if you are eating food that's going to kill your cells, going to destroy your health, going to affect, going to make you discomfort, What's the point? I mean, food is supposed to enrich us. It's supposed to make us feel better. It's supposed to repair ourselves, restore our body, give us good sleep, good skin, anti-aging. Lately I've been attending quite a lot of function, and people has been asking about my age, but I'm not going to reveal it. Some of my friends probably know what my age is, and there's this 10 years challenge. I did post it up. People are quite amazed by the answer they got, but secret, how I get to where I am today, good health. Rarely I fall sick. If I do, I recover pretty fast because of the habit that I had. So if you would want to make sure that you fall into the category of healthy person, making sure that you do not fall onto the illnesses, common illnesses like high blood, high cholesterol, diabetic, and lately my husband on every Tuesday is always talking about cancer, major disease of this world. Then I'm sure you need to really hear what I'm going to talk about in a while's time. Alright, so food that heals are so important, alright, because it's going to help us on the long run. If you want to live at the age of 80 and still doing well, not bedridden, you're able to travel, then you got to hear me out. So I did mention about food that kills, that causes chronic inflammation. We know that inflammation is a trigger to a lot of health issue right now, be it cancer, heart disease, stroke, diabetic, lung issue, bone health, depressions. Inflammation is actually the main trigger for depression as well. And what are the food to avoid, and what are the food to get on, so that you are on a healing track. So this week on my episode 51, I'm going to share about this thing, this thing that is found in almost everything in our food if you are not conscious about, especially if you are a fast food or instant food lover. Alright, what is this? I'm going to share with you. Plug in again. Hi, this is Simply Nature and this JASLIN here every Thursday at 8 a.m. with you. Alright, this is what we call MSG. MSG, what is MSG? Before I start, 80% of the food that we are consuming now are causing your discomfort and health issue, by the way. I'm not too sure about that, alright? And many of us are actually really eating food that's killing us. Knowing that the rise of chronic disease at even a younger age. Gone are the days that we thought that diabetic is only for the 80s or 60s, but now it's getting even younger. Diabetic patients are as young as teenager. Ask me how, ask me why. Continue hearing me out, alright? So, because of 80% of food that we're eating right now are causing us a lot of discomfort and health issue. And I must share with you that this that I just mentioned, MSG, think about it, alright? You should really start to cut down on that. There's a saying in Chinese, 祸从口入. 祸从口入, alright? Destruction start all the way from your mouth. Meaning to say that the health issue that you're experiencing now started off from what you're eating, right? So MSG, what is MSG? Monosodium glutamate, alright? Monosodium glutamate, MSG, alright? A toxic food additive that you may want to get rid of today. But of course, there's always two sides of the coin, alright? There's a bad thing about MSG, but let me tell you what was first MSG started off as. Unfortunately, this neurotoxin that is used to enhance the flavor of cheaply made food is highly addictive, alright? And it leaves you coming more and more of the food. What exactly is MSG? Monosodium glutamate. MSG is a food additive that was actually discovered by this Japanese scientist. Alright, I'm not talking about history, but you could always Google and Wikipedia on it. Right? That's made up of mostly glutamine acid and sodium containing up to 1% contaminant. Alright, if you were to take a spoonful of MSG and eat it, it tastes bad. Alright, it doesn't make you want to go on again. But if this MSG is combined with food that you're eating, a reaction occurs, and that makes you think that the food you're eating actually tastes better. How does this do? Well, this tricks our tongue into triggering the fifth taste, which is called umami. Alright, I mean there's actually four tastes, that we're talking about. 酸甜苦辣, sweet, sour, bitter, and spicy. But there's this fifth taste that is called umami, that is a taste that is triggered because of this MSG. Alright, so well, before I run down the horrifying danger of MSG, let me share with you the purpose of MSG benefit in the first place. Alright, it was first designed to help on brain function. Patients with brain neurotransmitter issue which cannot function properly. It is actually one of the most important neurotransmitter for normal brain function. Alright, nearly all excitatory neurons in the brain and spinal cord, that actually is the one that causes us to have a central nervous system, are actually glutamatergic. As the main excitatory neurotransmitter, it sends signal to the brain, and as a result throughout the whole body, it helps the cognitive function, memory, learning, and other brain function. That was the purpose of glutamate, in the first place, to help on brain development. And this brain need glutamate to form memories, alright? The low level of glutamate cause problems in brain in the first place. Increasing glutamate level in the brain improves its function, alright? So actually there was a purpose of glutamate. But, as I'm going to keep saying, as humans start abuse Therefore, you know, things start to even get to the reverse side of the story. Glutamate is also important for the growth and the development of your bone, right? It decreases the development of cells that degrade the bone and aid in the treatment of variety of bone disease, and you know, such as osteoporosis in human. So, number 3, the presence of glutamate in food also signal to our body, especially if you are not taking high protein food, right? So it actually helps for person who are actually probably fall into the category of vegetarians, you know, that they are lacking high protein food that mainly is found in the meat. So glutamate is a source of substitute so that the body maintain the function that is needed from protein. Glutamate also increase and regulate your T cells function, you know, which is actually the one that will actually protect the role in inflammation before you fall into the category of neurodegenerative disease. So the T cell regulatory function of our body actually helps to protect your cells from inflammations that is going to cause you neurodegenerative disease. So number 5, glutamate actually play a role in also muscle function, alright? During your exercise, glutamate plays a role in a central role in providing energy and productions of glutathione. See, all this word sounds familiar, right? Because people have been taking glutathione for purpose, you know, things like that, anti-aging. Last but not least, the body uses glutamate to produce neurotransmitter gamma amino acid, alright? In short, it's called GABA, G-A-B-A, you know, as an inhibitor neurotransmitter that plays an important role in learning and muscle contraction. So, this gamma is also known as a calming neurotransmitter that helps reduce anxiety and give you a good sleep. So, that was actually the purpose of glutamate, alright? That our body actually needed. In fact, our body could actually produce it. It is found in our body, but because of all this lifestyle stress and disease and bad eating of food, bad habit, that is causing our body not able to produce glutamate. And that's why you have to get sources from outside. And if you're not knowing it, if you are overdosing MSG, you know, monosodium glutamate, then that's where the reverse would have happened. Your health will be in chaos. So many times things are created for good, alright? But when people abuse the use of it, it turns out to be even worse, right? So what happens when there's excessive use of MSG? Right, so how do you term excessive use? You know, as I mentioned, the 6th function of glutamate was actually for our body purpose. And what exactly the dosage that's needed. In fact, the body is actually able to produce, but then, as I said, our lifestyle has caused this chaos in our bodily function of productions of glutamate that we need to get from sources outside. So I'm not going to touch on the how much do you actually need, but what happens when people overdose. How do you say that it's overdose when your food, you know, when you know 80% of the food that has contained MSG, like you're chipping all the time, chipping as in potato chipping, nacho chippings, you know, cracker chipping, all this have MSG, by the way, alright? Especially some canned food also have MSG. Instant noodle, my friends in the Philippines, your favorite Lucky Me, MSG, isn't it? Because of the little sachet, that's what causes the taste to be so delicious and so addictive, alright? Or my Korean friends as well, every time when we watch Korean drama, we will always be enticed with the way they eat the noodle, the instant noodle, because that is where the MSG is all about. So if you're always eating 24/7, 365 days instant noodles, almost every day, twice a day instant noodles, chipping all the time, potato chipping all the time, nacho chipping all the time, office during your Mariana time, snack time, you know, there you go, you know you're overdosing MSG, alright? So let me share with you the negative effect of glutamate, alright? Excess glutamate causes disorder. Excess glutamate in the brain may be a high risk of brain disease, cognitive impairment. All right. This has been tested by mice control in terms of brain motor function in mice. So it does cause traumatic brain injury. After a patient suffers from a stroke or traumatic brain injury, excessive glutamate level can actually contribute to brain death. All right. So that's what that it goes. It does cause. It helps on the brain, but excessive will actually get the super reverse effect. All right. And that's why maybe, I don't know, but I'm just guessing, lately there have been quite a lot of cases on brain tumor. I don't count it all to radiations all the time, but I think it could be really the food that you're eating that contain a lot of MSG. All right. So number 2, glutamate might increase the cancer rate. In animal testing, glutamate has a high level of cancer-induced pain, to the bone. That's also one of the reasons why glutamate has been one of the cancer-causing food that we are talking about in today's world. Number 3, glutamate receptor and can transmit pain and itch sensations. So they also contribute to chronic itchiness, pain, eczema, psoriasis. So maybe that's also the reason why some people are very sensitive to MSG. The moment they take MSG, they will trigger a sense of sensations to the skin that in turn it causes constant itchiness. Like myself, I'm actually autoimmune patients. Before, I used to suffer eczema, and I was on steroid for 5 years until I was on Simply Nature cellfood PPARS. It took me almost 3 months to completely drop my medications of 5 years of steroid. So really, click on to simplynature.asia to find out more about what Simply Nature PPAR can do to your health. All right, in terms of repair and restorations. So what happened when I was suffering from this eczema? The moment I touch on MSG, my body is so sensitive. It actually will react to itch straight away. I will feel discomfort. In fact, I will actually have this giddiness. I'm not sure if I still remember. I do suffer a little slight migraine every time I'm on MSG. High dosage of MSG, especially Chinese food, local Filipino food. You always like to use MSG on all your dishes, especially Filipino dishes. All right, so there it goes. Number 4, glutamate may cause diabetic as well. Long-term use of glutamate level might contribute to diabetic development, to both even type 1 or type 2 diabetic. All right, excessive glutamate may accelerate the damage of pancreatic cells that secrete insulin. So in short, glutamate will going to affect your pancreas. That's why it's not able to produce insulin. It causes it to be insensitive already. Number 5, glutamate may cause migraine, which I just mentioned, right? Migraine are a neurovascular disorder accompanied by severe headache and neuro symptoms. All right, so migraine patients react to MSG, to food. In your blood, glutamate level correlate with symbol severely in migraine patients. All right, glutamate may be involved in transmitting pain signal to your brain and then your nerves, and therefore the migraine part will come into place. Several drugs that block glutamate receptors are showing positive reactions in clinical trial for treatment of migraine. So in short, as I mentioned, glutamate was actually meant to treat certain health issue with a dosage that is permissible. All right, but when you are abusing or overdosing of MSG because it tastes great on your food, therefore constant taking of unnecessary quantity of MSG would result in health issue in the long run. Alright, so in fact, MSG has a lot of hidden label, hidden description. Alright, it's not so simple that you will see the word MSG. Then of course, as a consumer, if you look at MSG, now I talk about MSG that's not so good, right? You will start to pinpoint on what are the food that has this MSG. But now, instead of putting monosodium glutamate, there are many descriptions. There's many terms as well, right? So I'm just going to run now quickly on the terms. You know, if you want that list, the label, the new names of MSG, private message me. I'm going to send you the list, alright? But in short, you will find label. I'm going to read it out. It's called glutamate, glutamine acid, gelatin, calcium caseinate, texture protein, monopotassium glutamate, sodium caseinate, yeast nutrients, yeast extract, yeast food, autolyzed yeast, hydrolyzed protein, hydrolyzed corn gluten, nitrium glutamate. Okay, these are the few that I could pronounce, alright? But there is actually 40 FDA approved ingredients that has hidden MSG in them. So these are actually found in your flavoring, your spices, probably in your what you call that, mayonnaise, Japanese sesame sauce, probably in your ketchup, in your chili sauce. So that with this MSG that's containing in this food, it actually tastes better. So if you want to have that list, private message me. I'm going to send it to you in a while's time. So the bottom line is depending on who you ask, alright? If you ask a doctor, glutamate is actually needed for certain patients. So MSG is either perfectly safe or a dangerous neurotoxic. The truth lies in between them, alright? But evidence indicate that MSG, in fact, with a moderate amount, is actually safe. However, mega dose may cause us great harm. Alright, if you react adversely to MSG like myself, then you shouldn't eat it because your body is able to detect it. This is a foreign things in your body, and your body will react and inflammation will occur again. You know, I'm going to keep talking about inflammation because this is something that's going to trigger a lot of health issue in the long run. So let's say if you don't experience a side effect, then there's no compelling reasons for you to avoid it. But keep in mind that MSG is generally found in processed, low quality food, you know, which you should even avoid and limit yourself anyway. You know, like Lucky Me, canned food, snacks, chips, sausages, sauce that is going to make your food taste good. But if you know, if you are a health freak and if you are really on a balanced diet with plenty of whole food, natural, fresh, no processed food, then, you know, a little MSG intake once a while, you know, quote unquote, it's not going to do you any great harm, alright? But if you're always on it, then watch out. So as I said, glutamate are found in our body. You know, our body is able to make it for the purpose I've mentioned, but it is found in actually rich protein food like meat, poultry, eggs, tomato, cheese, mushroom, and soya. That's why we like to use soya sauce on our food, because it tastes great, right? Because you can find glutamate in soya sauce. So glutamate serves its food with this fifth taste called umami, which I just learned about that, alright? And it actually acts along with sweetness, saltiness, sourness, and bitterness. You know, 酸甜咸苦. So MSG is a common flavor and it just enhances your food. That's why it's irresistible in eating Lucky Me, alright? Breast milk actually has high concentration of glutamate along with other amino acids. By the way, glutamate make up of 50% of amino acids in the breast milk. So kids actually needed that because kids needs to really grow quickly, right? So normally people do not take supplement because of insufficient glutamate, because it's already in their normal diet, which you can find. So but however, as you age, glutamate supplements are actually beneficial for people who are deficient in protein. Maybe you are growing old, you are not able to extract protein from the food you take, or you're not able to digest protein because you are lacking your teeth, you can't eat meat as much as you had in the past. Then but however, glutamate should not be used. This glutamate supplement should not be used for people that's already suffering from neurological issue, kidney issue, and liver disease, because one is the brain, the other two is the trash can of your body. So it only means that it's actually could be too strong for your body already. So good or bad, depending on where the truth lies. If you really need it because of health issue and it's actually been prescribed by a doctor, then you are taking it for a purpose. But you have overdosing it due to taste, then good luck to you. All right, so you really need to start avoiding MSG as much as you can in your food intake. All right, so there I have for you today, food that kills, and I'm on this MSG. If you would like to have the list that has this name, a different name that describe my MSG, private message me. Alright, so thank you for watching once again. This is Jaslin, every Thursday with you. Simply Nature, healthy is sexy, and hope you enjoy what I've shared with you and put that to practice. Alright, so I'm on my 51 topic. I'm still going on food because there's so much talk about food. There's so much things that we need to learn about the food that we're eating every day, because 80% of the health issue, as I mentioned, is all started from our mouth, 祸从口入. Alright, so if you have been following us, continue follow us on Facebook, Simply Nature. I'm going to load this up on my YouTube channel. If you didn't get to listen on first part, go on to my YouTube channel. If you missed any episode, go on to my YouTube channel. Alright, and of course, go to simplynature.asia and find out what are we here up to. If you already know about us, then click on international order or local order to get your promo pack. There's promo running there, especially on the local link. Click onto there. Alright, so brought to you by simplynature.asia, and this is Jaslin. Thank you for watching. See you next Thursday. God bless you. Bye.